In the closing moments of the show, Undertaker looked at the younger Steiner and said, "I thought you were white, son," and then looked at Mello and said, "Ah, he's one of the good ones." You know deep down that's what Undertaker thought. At least he didn't say the quiet part loud and the loud part quiet. Ugh. I'm John Renton with my review of WWE NXT, and boy, I can only imagine how they formatted this show and formed this goddamn thing. Shawn Michaels suddenly knows, oh my god, Hunter, Tony Khan is moving AEW Dynamite to Tuesday. They're going to go head-to-head with us. And then Triple H said, ha ha, everybody get in here. And then we go full Harvey Birdman, attorney at law. And yeah, they got a lot of goddamn people on this show. They loaded up. And well, it was certainly a memorable episode for moments. I mean, maybe as far as advancing storylines, well, who knows? We'll see how things play out in the future. And they're building up to 2 nights of Halloween Havoc. No, really. After next week's episode, they're going to do the 24th and the 31st. 2 weeks of Halloween Havoc. Well, we'll see how that goes. Okay, because it was requested, that's why I'm reviewing this particular episode. There were moments that were fine. But I love the episode. Well, let's find out. So, Cody opens up. Whoa, they're singing a song. He has a few announcements. Dusty Classic, a men's breakout tournament, and he's the guest GM for tonight. There you are. I thought they were going to get in and out pretty goddamn quickly. Then here's Ilya. It's Ilya Dragunov, the NXT Men's Champion. And Ilya, it's his birthday today or yesterday as I'm recording. So yeah, he's all thrilled. He suffers for his art like Cody does, and there you go. And here's Dominic and Rhea. We get it already. We get it. I'm sick of Judgment Day. I get the point, but I'm sick of it. And I know why Dominic's on NXT, because he's a North American champion. Despite having no skills that warrant him being a champion, especially a singles champion, they're going to have a match later. And the special guest referee is going to be L.A. Knight. Yeah. And by the way, the first 30 or so minutes was commercial free. Cena arrives in a Honda because, you know, he does Honda ads. And then we cut to Kelly Kincaid and a bunch of people in the background. It looked like she was in front of a green screen. Asuka took on Roxanne Perez. Asuka cuts more confident promos because Asuka doesn't sound like a hostage statement being read every time she talks. I'm sorry, I can't help it, but no one is going to be able to live long enough for Roxanne to get good unless they really sit her down and say, please, you have skills and are wise beyond your years. Please, learn to talk like you aren't a deer in the goddamn headlights. Anyway, the match was fine. It was fine for what it was. Asuka clearly going to be the leader here. Roxanne is talented. She got in a few flurries. She countered the Asuka lock. But eventually, it was going to be Asuka's match to win. Also, Shotzi showed up to do commentary. And she's hosting Halloween Havoc Night 1 and 2. And I think is hosting Night 1 with Scarlett. Guess I got to justify having her and Cross still around. But yes, Asuka ends up winning, has a show of respect. There you go. Kiana Jameson shows up, and then Shotzi lays her out with some form of a DDT. And then Heyman arrived earlier today. He's Paul Grayman now. And then Gallus says something. I don't know what the hell they said. I genuinely do not know what the hell Gallus is saying. There could be subtitles for the subtitles I still wouldn't know. Bate, Peter Dune, and Ridge are all excited for the pub's rules match. Yeah, it's a 6-man bullshit-filled match. Look, I know there are people that like these kind of matches, and I'm sick of them. I'm sorry, there was a bar set up, there was a barrel, there was a keg, there was a dartboard. I felt like having darts thrown at my own head. That would have been less painful than watching this. And we get a triple submission spot. We get a bunch of bullshit. We get, miscues. I mean, seriously, there were points where moves were missed by a goddamn foot. It was astonishing. And the Brutes win. The match didn't mean anything. I mean, the crowd loved it. And look, this crowd was packed in there like sardines. They were popping for everything. I'm just sick of all these matches where none of the rules matter. I mean, they're fighting. It's fight night on Tuesday. I still don't know what Gallus is saying. Please, somebody explain to me. Does Gallus actually speak any form of English or any language found on this planet? Becky and Lyra package. Lyra, Good God. Good God, she looks great. She's interrupted by Tegan, who says, "Give me your shot." "Oh, you won't? Well, I guess I'll just have to face you next week." Okay. And Cena comes out to a pop. They sing his song. He praises the fans, praises NXT, and he praises Mello. And then Steiner shows up, and he says, he just ends up blowing out the fans eventually. Even though they came to see him, he just blows them off. The crowd chants bullshit. They were edited a few times here. Cena tries to be respectful. Steiner then decks him, almost gets hit with the AA, and powders. There were some decent verbal jabs here. It was nice for Steiner to face off against Cena. Even though it was brief, there is no way that match should happen. Cena does not need to face Steiner in a match. I don't think it would help Steiner at this point, but the interaction here, that was fine. It isn't the only interaction it would end up having. So, Cody is backstage. Tony D and Stacks come up with an idea. How about we have a battle royal, and if your teammate's eliminated, you're gone, and the last two teams then have a singles match, and then the winner of that faces us. That's all really complicated, but whatever, let's go with that. It's going to be the Bada Bang Bada Boom Battle Royal. I hate it. Stop being stupid and goofy. Corbin wants a shot at Ilya because he beat Steiner and he feels that he deserves a chance. I mean, it's fair. He did beat Steiner, even if it was due to the fact Robert Stone jumped in to, get revenge for Von Wagner. Hey, a win's a win. LA Knight comes out to be the referee for Ilya versus Dominic, with Rhea in the corner, looking adorable with her anime hairstyle and tassels and whatever. I don't know what the hell's going on. Okay, this match is twice as long as it needed to be. I'm sick of the Judgment Day interference. I will not live long enough, none of us will live long enough, for Dominic to not look like David Flair and Eric Watts, Human Centipede, together in the ring. Yeah, he gets boos, and then once the goddamn bell rings, you need boos to sit through his matches. So anyway, Judgment Day interference. JD takes a finish from LA Knight and gets tossed. And eventually Torpedo Moscow 1, 2, 3. This match, again, twice as long as it needed to be. And yes, the whole point of this whole thing is Ilya needed to, had the numbers against him and everything, and took some hard bumps and stuff like that. Speaking of hard bumps, one thing I forgot to mention earlier in the Pub's Rules match, Wolfgang tried to do a dive and practically, just jarred his own goddamn spine because he's an out-of-shape dope that shouldn't be doing any more dives like that. He was able to do it maybe 5 years ago. Well, that was 5 years ago. He can't anymore. Yeah, Torpedo Moscow won it. Sick of the Judgment Day stuff. It's not good television. I get where they were going with it for a bit, but now it's across every goddamn show. Yes, it's a way to build up interest in NXT, and the ratings have ticked up, and I can't fault them there, but there is such a thing as oversaturating the product, and that's kind of what they're doing. And then Corbin wants a shot at Ilya, but Dijak beats him to it, because a near 7-foot guy can just suddenly sneak up on somebody and they don't know, and that factors into something a little bit later. And Cena is praising Mello. Trick shows up. We're still getting tension with Trick and Mello. Please don't split them up as far as having a program. Just don't do it. You don't need to do that. It can be that Trick wants to rise on his own, but you don't need to have them go against each other. They're better just amicably splitting than they are, fighting. At least in my opinion, which means they're going to have them fight. And people aren't going to be very happy. NXT Anonymous, caught Paul Grayman talking to Ava Braun. And she is going, Ava Rain, by the way, just in case you're new to the NXT reviews. But she's going to be in the bloodline. Maybe, possibly. There you go. Jade! It's with Shawn Michaels! Shawn was able to keep an eye on Jade and also on the driver to the right. That's mean. I don't care. Jade's there. She looks like a star. And then the bell will ring. But nevertheless. So we then get Lola Vice. I'm not going to lie to you. That is not how I read her name at first. And then she took on Danny Palmer and Lola. Lola won. Cool. It was a very quick match. They went like really, really fast. Sonic guts to go fast. So, We then also, by the way, had, before that match actually started, we had Cody talking to Corbin. Corbin has to be part of a three-way, oh my, with Dijak and whoever wins against between Steiner and Mello. Everyone is mad at Dominic. I would be mad too if somebody was a champion and they weren't any good at it. Tatum looked amazing. My God, she looked amazing. And I guess they're going to go with Frazier against Dominic. His Dragon Lee got moved up to SmackDown to presumably do jobs till the end of time. And then Chase University. Thea and JC interrupt, and we got more stuff. And I hate the Chase U stuff. I hate it. I like JC and Thea as a team. They're fine. But the Chase University stuff has been bad, will continue to be bad. And when this world has ended and giant bugs decide to find these video files, they're going to realize that Chase University was really bad. Pillman Jr. is now a man with the last name of King. The man who would be king. That's a long name. It's something, I think, Lexus King, I think, is his name. I mean, it's a way to honor family. Can't fault him there. I see him flaming out in 2 years, but that's just me. So, Kiana and various women greet Asuka. Fallon gets cut off by Tiffany, and Asuka looks at Tiffany after shaking her hand and leaves. Fallon looks amazing. Next week, 3 matches, including Lyra versus Tegan, the Battle Royal, and the aforementioned 3-way. I very much doubt I'm going to review it next week. I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll just review Halloween Havoc, night 1 and 2 as well. Maybe. I don't know. Heyman introduces Steiner as badass. And then Steiner, along with Heyman, took on Mello with Cena in the corner. The match was what it was. It's a rivalry renewed despite the fact that they were just fighting just a few months ago. But Steiner just glommed him. Mello fired back. Later, Steps got involved. Cena stopped that. Then Solo came in and they fought off. And then a leg drop after a low blow. 1, 2, 3. Mello won. Steiner hit a spear. There's only room for one badass in wrestling. And then suddenly, Undertaker shows up. On a motorcycle that was almost as long as the goddamn venue. Why didn't they just have him walk out there? I know he's old. Older than dirt, actually, the way he moves. But he could have walked out there, but whatever. This is a cool visual of him walking his motorcycle around the ring. He ends up basically saying to Steiner, after Steiner kind of, jabs at him, you're going to be good, but there's only one badass here, and then he choke slams him. He said more stuff, but I kind of tuned it out because the Cena interaction I get, this Taker interaction, he's not going to come back for another match. God forbid if he does. Steiner would cut him in half. And then says to Mello, you're one of the good ones. And that's what he said. That is the end of NXT. It was fine. It will probably do well in the ratings. It'll probably do very well in the ratings. If they would just remove Booker from commentary or put a muzzle on him and presumably make him anybody else to an extent, I would probably actually watch NXT weekly at least a little bit more, but Booker is very hard to listen to. That being said, Vic Joseph's a very good commentator. There you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.